Hi there, tribe. Shia from Florida, your Tantra specialist. I wanted to comment on how encouraged I am. I am new to Florida in Sarasota, and I kind of came from a place where there wasn't a lot of choices of men. And so I just recently decided to get on a dating app and check it out. And because I have a lot more confidence that I'm going to find what I'm looking for in Florida. And of course, there's way more men here than I've been with in a long time as far as just choices. And I am definitely I have to, sift through a lot and vet them, but all I need is one, right? Or a handful before I get down to the one or whatever. And I am very encouraged. I've met several that have been very attentive, more heart-based, and very good communicators. So that's really impressive. I find that lovely, just so sexy, and it really builds trust and feels very attentive when they're a good communicator. And I'm just so encouraged to see that. Now, granted, I had to sift through tens of profiles to get to those guys, but at least they're out there. And I just want to remind all of you guys, because I know sometimes you get on there just to get laid, and good luck with that. I think we're changing in our culture now, where women are waking up to, it's like, enough of this already. Let's, get to the good stuff. It needs to be win-win. And so I just want to remind you how much the divine feminine longs for you in your highest self. A man who's got integrity and honor and lives by a certain code of honor, who's trustworthy, who is a man of his word, and who's done his inner work, who's spiritual on some level, even if it's just with nature, and who's perhaps or meditating or yoga or something, right? And the divine feminine is kind of done without a lot of you for a long time. We've kind of had to just pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and make our own living and raise our kids, and without your help a lot of times. And if there's any way that you would like to reach out to a woman, an easy way to do that is do some kind of act of service. That's a really easy way to connect with a woman, in case you maybe don't feel as confident in just approaching women or starting a conversation. I mean, I find it's really just starting a conversation. I mean, I did it the other day with a guy and ended up hanging out with him for several days, and it was lovely. And I just didn't want to wait around, for the guy to get around to it. So I just started a conversation myself and went over to him. But I know that, like, an act of service, like helping a woman move, or do some kind of house repair or whatever it is. Hey, I happen to be a landscaper, and I notice you might need some help with your lawn. It doesn't even have to be that big, even if it's just a little thing like, whoa, I can help you unload your vehicle if you'd like, because you got a lot going on in there. What project are you about to do? Or whatever, right? So that's an easy way for I think that's an easy way to kind of connect with a woman and show her your value and just your good-heartedness about being willing to help her with something that especially she may not have the skill sets for. It might be something mechanical or techie or home repair oriented, or it might require some muscle. And so, yeah, I just want to see more connection in the world. And it is going to require, more authenticity and transparency and honesty. And these admirable characteristics that I don't know, for some reason, I know the media really affects us and programs us, especially porn, and it can just get to the point where it feels downright like manipulative, or I don't know. I just don't really believe in a lot of the what I'm hearing out there, like the pickup artist stuff. I'll listen to some of the conversations around that just to kind of like get a feel for what's going on in that world. And I'm just like, wow, does that mean that if you are just yourself, that you are just not desirable at all, just being yourself, that you feel like you have to put on an act and like learn all this psyche manipulation stuff? Like, ugh. It's kind of scary, honestly. It's just like, oh, let me learn how to be a con artist so I can get laid and be a criminal. Anyway, guys, you're so much better than that. And if you want a really quality woman, then, there's no shortcuts really. It does take some skill to be with a woman, because you can't just be your average Joe. You're not going to really interest her so much. There's only certain women that will only go for, six-pack abs and whatever. Like, you got to have more to offer than that. So, a quality woman's going to look at your communication skills, because that's huge. In fact, if I were to say the number one thing that kills a relationship is a lack of communication skills combined with emotional intelligence. So that could be considered communication intelligence too. That's been my experience. You want to be able to feel like you too can get through to the other side of any argument. But you do have to learn how to fight fair, and make I statements instead of you statements. And so, I think a lot of women are more attracted to like personal development, spirituality, and we've had to do our work just to survive, because we felt that a lot of us, I think, have felt like you just weren't there for us. And so we had to figure it out ourselves. Like just missing dads, or guys who ghost, or just don't seem to be as helpful as you guys could be, in those moments where, we need a man. And so, yeah, I just want to encourage you to do that inner work. And, some of you might be asking, well, what do you mean by that? What is inner work? Sometimes you need to see, okay, where am I with my skill sets? And I do this in my business as a Tantra specialist and love coach. So, I like to be able to assess a person as far as, okay, where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? And we've got to get those weaknesses fleshed up so that you can be sustainable in relationship, because there are some deal breakers. And your communication skills, your ability in the bedroom, the way your integrity level, your ability to be with a woman and understand how she's different. So, I love to learn, and I'm constantly learning every day with a multitude of YouTubes while I'm driving, while I'm exercising, etc., while I'm going to bed. When I wake up in the morning and getting ready, I'm listening to stuff. And so, aside from the constant trainings and events and whatnot that I attend as well, that are educational and inspirational, if you haven't done any of that, maybe it's time to take out a sliver of your life and devote to that, so that you can start improving in this department too. Because if you just expect to be like ready-made, ready to go for a quality, high-end relationship and sex life, but you haven't invested any time or money into it, then think again. It's time. You can do it, because we miss you and we need you and we want you. So may that be your true motivation.